Hi guys, today we're going to do a full review of the LG V40 after using it for more than a month. We're going to talk about everything you can do with this phone, everything you can't. Let's go ahead and take a look. The LG V40 comes with a 6.3-inch PO LED display, similar to Samsung's AMOLED, and it gets pretty darn bright, and I don't think you'll have issues with the display. Look at that nice screen. Yeah, you're not gonna have problems with it. Viewing angles are excelente. I'm really loving the viewing angles. It's a very beautiful display with resolution of 3120 by 1440, which is pretty much 1440p, or obviously you can run it at 1080p or 720p to save battery life. All right, but I like to leave it on 1440p because I watch a lot of videos in 1440p. Now, for those of you who don't set it to 1440p, you're not gonna be able to actually enjoy the full resolution. So when you buy this phone or any Galaxy phones, they all default to 1080p, so make sure to set it to 1440p. There is also HDR video effect, so even with regular videos, you can get brighter and more vibrant colors, which basically means saturated colors. All right, there is also a always on display that you can set it to analog clock, dual clock, a lot of different options. Let's try that. Green, save, and boom shakalaka. Battery life has been excelente with the LG V40. I haven't had any issues, even though it only has a 3300 milliamp hour battery. Now, any smartphones using OLED, whether it's AMOLED or POLED like the LG V40 here, you're gonna get much better battery efficiency. Now, LG G7, LG went back to LCD, and then with the V40, they came back to POLED, which was V30 also last year. So for all-day use, I don't think you'll have an issue with the LG V40. Also, Quick Charge 3.0 charges super fast, also supports fast wireless charging. Yes, you can go ahead and fast wireless charge, which is very nice. Charging, battery life, I don't think you're gonna have any issues. Now let's do a quick rundown of the specs. It's got volume buttons on the left, with the dedicated Google Assistant button, which I feel is unnecessary, but I do like it over Samsung's Bixby. I don't really like Bixby that much. Of course, one of the biggest things with LG is the headphone jack. Alright, along with USB Type-C. Also, Boombox sound carried over from the LG G7, quite loud. If you want a phone that has one of the loudest speakers without using your Bluetooth speaker, this is definitely going to be one of the phones to do it. Especially when you put it on a flat surface, it gets super loud. There's a microphone here also, and up at the top you'll find a microphone, and also on the right side you'll find a power button, SIM card slot with a micro SD card, which is great because the LG is one of the few companies that kept the micro SD card, the headphone jack. Now, the only thing I wish they had kept the removable battery. The back is quite nice, but it is a fingerprint magnet, and I know the Korean versions have sort of a matte finish. I know a lot of the US versions have this shiny finish, so if you get the matte version, you should be able to use it naked. But again, with the glass back and glass front, anytime you drop this phone, you're gonna crack the screen. I do highly recommend getting a case. If you guys want to save a little money, definitely get the Ring K case. They have a bunch of different ones that I actually did a video on. Really love these cases because you're gonna be able to protect the back, especially, which does get a lot of scratches. It's really gonna protect the back, and also when you drop your phone, there's a lip to protect the front of the screen. So definitely recommend it to get a case for any phone with glass back, glass front. I mean, LG has done a terrific job with IP68 rating. You're not gonna have problems using this in the water, spa, you know, for small dives in the pool. Not that I recommend it. You're not gonna have a problem. As long as you don't go in salt water, this thing is water resistant like hell. Yeah. But let's go ahead and talk about the 5 cameras. It's got a 12 megapixel f1.5 camera and 12 megapixel f2.4 2x optical zoom telephoto camera and a 16 megapixel f1.9 wide angle camera. There is OIS for the main camera, but for the rest of them, there is no OIS, but there is EIS, which means you'll be able to get electronic image stabilization. It's also available for the 2 front cameras. You got a regular camera and also a wide angle. As far as the notch, I've got it hidden right now. It does appear when you're using apps. I wish they implemented like Google, where the Pixel 3 XL will bring down the whole notification panel. So it will just simply not use the top part. That way you could use the whole notification. So that's one of the things I don't like about it. The way they implemented the notch or the fact that it even has a notch, sort of annoying. Alright, there's the 3 cameras. So the main camera I actually use the most. That's the main camera. And with telephoto, you're going to be able to get that nice zoom shot. Alright, and of course with super wide, you're gonna get that wide angle, which is really, really nice. So just having those 3 cameras is a huge advantage over using something like a Galaxy Note 9, where you don't have the wide angle. You have good telephoto, but you don't have that wide angle. Now, the shots do tend to come out a little soft with the telephoto, but with good lighting, which I've got here, you're not gonna notice the difference. Not too much. The main camera is obviously the best camera, which I would use most of the time. Having this 3 camera option is just awesome. Alright, and also having EIS. EIS works for all 5 cameras, so steady recording, that's basically EIS. So if I turn this on and record a 4K video, it is super duper stable. Alright, look at how stable that is. Alright, now the only thing is that was actually the wide angle camera. So the problem is when I'm recording in wide angle, I can't switch to the normal or the telephoto, which means I have to stop and then I have to switch to the main camera. Alright, for main camera, you're gonna get OIS and EIS. If you have EIS turned on, it's going to crop your image a little bit. So I would actually turn off EIS for the best quality videos, and if you don't want that crop, since it already has OIS, you don't really need it on. But with OIS, EIS, if you do like walking tests, it's gonna look like it's on almost like a gimbal. Of course, stabilization works quite well in the telephoto, alright, especially in bright light. Now, the images with the videos are also slightly soft, especially on the sides, you'll notice a little bit. But other than that, it's not too bad. I just wouldn't use the telephoto or the wide angle in like super low light situations. That's when performance can really degrade. EIS always works best in bright light situations. But not too bad there. So overall, this year, camera has improved a ton, especially the main camera, because it's got 40% bigger sensor than the LG G7, all the previous LGs. So low light performance has got a ton better. It's right up there with the main camera with the flagships. I would say the Note 9 is still slightly better, right, or the S9, but there's not a huge difference. Whether you use the LG V40 or the Note 9, you're gonna get nearly identical performance, especially for videos. Alright, for photos, I feel like photos are a little overly sharp at times, but especially with the HDR mode. And one of the things you can get around it is by learning to use the manual mode. Now, the coolest feature, I would say, on the LG V40, without a doubt, it's got a photo manual mode, alright, and video manual mode. Photo manual mode, I was actually taking a bunch of star photography last night. I had it set to ISO 50 and shutter speed 25. Now, the thing is, you don't have to know how to use manual mode. You can set it to auto. There's an auto button, which sets everything auto. Now, the good thing with using manual mode is if you go into settings, then you can go ahead and save all of your photos as raw photos. And if you take a photo like that, you're gonna have 2 photos. One's gonna be the regular and one's gonna be the washed out raw image. Now, I did a bunch of comparisons and compared the raw to the regular camera. I would say then you can really take advantage of the camera abilities of the LG V40. The raw mode simply gives you a ton more options, especially when you're making something like a time lapse or something. If I use JPEG files, I'm not gonna be able to get the image I want. I'm gonna be stuck with a slightly over sharpened auto image processing from LG V40 camera. But the fact that it has raw mode, now you can go ahead and take this to Photoshop. I don't actually recommend using any apps on Android because they all sort of suck. I do recommend using Photoshop or Lightroom on your desktop to take full advantage of the raw mode. Now, once you do that, I'll have a tutorial on that soon. Then you can really take advantage of the V40. This is a photographer's camera. Now, in manual mode, you will only have options for wide angle and the regular camera. So with telephoto, you don't get manual photo mode. Those are little quirks with the V40 that I don't like. Now, the dials on the LG V40, I really love. You got focus peaking. If you want to use the LG V40 or any of the LG products for professional, sort of semi-professional video recording, this is the smartphone to do it. I mean, if there's one thing I can say about the LG V40, it is the best smartphone video camera with 3 different angles for the back camera. That's huge. All right, very nice focusing. I don't like the Samsung dials because the dials are harder to press, but LG has really perfected the manual mode. Now let's go ahead and switch to the video manual mode. Let's just set it to auto. Now, even with video recording, you don't have to know how to use manual mode. You can set everything on auto. But the good thing with manual mode here, it gives you additional options for higher bitrate, right? And you can do up to 60 frames per second, 4K if you want. In manual mode, and you do get an option for ACR. You can record your videos in full 4K in ACR 10. All right, also you can enable high quality sound, which is awesome. So with manual mode, you get these extra awesome features that no one else talks about. But I'm telling you, these hidden features on the LG V40 is what I actually use the LG V40 most for. And I did upload a quick ACR 10 demo where this comes very useful. Are situations where you got a lot of bright lights and darks. I did a quick comparison between my fireplace using ACR 10 versus without HDR, and the results were pretty amazing. I could see a ton more in the dark, and also the brights exposed correctly with HDR 10. HDR 10 is good for very bright and sort of very dark situations mixed together. It's not really for every situation, but there are situations that call for HDR, and that option is available in manual mode. What's missing with the manual mode in video? Again, you don't have that telephoto option. You can do a digital zoom, which works quite well also actually, but I would have definitely liked to have seen LG put telephoto mode available also for manual mode. Now, all of this stuff might just go through your head. Don't care about manual mode. Like I said, manual mode does not mean you have to use the manual mode. You don't have to use any of this. You can set it on auto. All right, the good thing is you have the option for RAW on the photos. For videos, you have the option to record in much higher bitrate, also ACR option and higher quality option. Now, LG also has the best audio quality option. When you're recording the video, you can have the wind noise filter on. You can control the gain. So in like concert environments, you can go ahead and put this down so you can actually record the audio without distortion, all right? You can control the gain, LCF, LMT, advanced audio controls. I mean, all the LGs have this now. So really, LG is about building little features that they really develop over time. LG is really becoming a niche for photographers and videographers who want that advanced option. And if you don't know any of this, you could still take advantage. Like I said, you can use the manual mode, just use it in auto manual mode. Manual auto. All right, I hope you guys got it. I'll try to make some videos for you guys to take full advantage of the LG V40. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the front camera really quick. Now, the front camera has improved over the years. All right, you get very wide and normal. And I do like the fact that you can go very wide. I mean, LG is pioneer of it, and now Google Pixel is using that. Let's see how wide the Google camera gets. Here we go. So wow, so the Google camera is slightly wider. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Pixel 3 has much better software processing, so you can get much better photos. One thing that's missing with the LG V40, portrait mode only works for normal camera, all right? Whereas portrait mode works for wide angle with the Pixel 3. And the reason why you would want portrait with the wide angle, especially in low light, you're gonna get a lot of noise with the wide angle just due to the physics of the lens. Now with the portrait mode, you're gonna be able to really fake out your background and blur it out using the wide angle. So that's a huge advantage that the Pixel 3 XL has and the Pixel 3. Now we'll see if Pixel 3 camera gets ported to the LG V40 along with wide angle, then you're gonna be able to take the same wide angle selfie portraits like the 3XL. But overall, selfies are very good. Portrait mode is actually one of the best. Now LG uses 2 cameras for depth sensing, so you get a lot better etching than other phones. But again, if my life depended on it, I go with the Pixel 3. Now these are the little things that I'm talking about that LG could improve upon. The little things that could make your photos much better, but it's missing with the LG V40. So that's a little bit disappointing. And I did go over this in my camera reviews. If you do turn off steady recording, you're gonna get much wider view with the wide angle. For recording a video like this, you're not gonna need stabilization because it's already stabilized on my hand on my desk. So to take full advantage of the wide angle, I would turn the steady recording off whenever possible, the EIS. All right, I know I talked too much about cameras today, but this is what it's about. When I first got this phone, I did make a 4K video using all 3 cameras on the back, and the results were fantastic in my opinion. One of the biggest reasons why you want to buy the LG V40. I feel like LG has done a terrific job of implementing 5 cameras, but as I pointed out, certain quirks like not being able to use the telephoto in manual mode, or not being able to switch to the normal and telephoto while recording a video in auto, stuff like that. I feel like they could have perfected it and made it work. Now let's go ahead and talk about what's wrong with the LG V40. First off, triple shot. Alright, when you do a triple shot, it takes 3 photos. Now LG's been updating the software and you'll get 2 really good shots. That looks good. That looks good. That looks not bad. Oh, maybe they fixed it. Okay, that time it worked really well, but a lot of times when I use triple shot, the telephoto mode won't focus correctly. I thought it was a really cool feature in the beginning, but the better way to take a photo anyways is to actually use a camera and take a photo manually. Alright, that way you'll get the best photos anyways. You want to really compose for the shot. You don't want to just take 3 shots from the same place. So I feel like triple shot's a little gimmicky. I just wouldn't use it, but having these 3 different cameras is great. And there is a preview if you hold down, but I feel like the screens are too small, so I don't actually end up using it. I just faster to switch between the 2 because you'll be able to see exactly how it's gonna look instead of the little small box. But yeah, being able to quickly switch between 3 cameras, awesome. And the AI cam, I'm not a fan of it. Again, I'm just not a fan of these things. Alright, I'm more of a manual guy. Of course, you also do get Google Lens, just like a Pixel 3. So if you have any kind of lettering and stuff, let me see, let's go ahead and grab my Sigma lens here. And now I'm going to be able to tap on any of these things. It's going to bring out all of the letters from the lens, which is really nice. So that was added in a software update. Very nice. Now I know I focus on the 5 cameras. I'll quickly go over some of the other things. 4G LTE connectivity has been great. I've been getting very good 4G LTE speeds. All right, I've got it on Verizon right now. Boombox Speaker has been great. It's not as loud as the LG G7, but it's still pretty much louder than any other smartphone out there. And for those of you who use headphones, especially high impedance headphones like I'm doing here, you can simply go ahead and plug in your headphones straight into the headphone jack, and you'll be able to take full advantage of the hi-fi quad DAC with a very powerful amp. If you compare it with like the Galaxy Note 9 or any of the Galaxies, you're gonna get much louder sound. And if you have high impedance headphones like I'm using here, right, you're gonna be able to take advantage of 3D surround sound and the added amp. Even with my 300 ohm headphones, you're going to be able to use it without using a portable amp. So that's really nice. It is really built for audiophiles and for those of you who are on your headphones all the time. There's no other better phone than the LG's. And you can go ahead and use the built-in equalizer, right? That is really, really nice that it's all built in. You don't have to mess with anything. The equalizer, sound, hi-fi quad DAC, a powerful amp, 3D sound. All of this allows you to enjoy your music a ton better with headphones. Alright, another thing with LG phones in general, performance is very, very good. I haven't had any issues. Memory management, no, nothing of that nature. Besides that, I would not ask you guys to base your opinions on these stupid memory management videos where users are literally like switching apps like this. Alright, that's just not realistic. Alright, while RAM management should be controlled by the OS, you can always close out of all apps to clear the memory. Alright, simple tips like that can allow you to get most performance out of your Android phone. Yeah, LG V40 is definitely one of my favorite phones, especially when it comes to recording videos with great stabilization with the 3 different camera angles. There's no other substitute. I know Galaxy S10 will have a similar feature. A lot of phones come out next year will have wide angle, normal, and telephoto. But until then, LG takes king for having the most versatile cameras, for the back cameras especially. And also they're pioneering of wide angle. Now, I just feel like they do need to improve upon it a little bit. The little things I've mentioned with the cameras. Performance is great. Playing games is great. I know a lot of people ask me, hey Max, what is the best phone out right now? I just don't see it like that because I own all these different phones and each of them have different uses. For example, I love the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. I love the portrait shots that come out of it. Obviously the HDR processing, the night sight, stuff like that. For example, example, if you're looking for something that this can do, it only has one back camera. You're limited by this camera. You have to move closer to your subject, move further back, versus having actual 3 different cameras. And with a wide angle, you're not going to simply be able to get wide angle shots with the back camera. All right, in situations you're right on the cliff or something. So in that regards, if you do tend to be in a lot of situations where you need to absolutely use the telephoto or the wide angle, maybe you're a real estate guy, you take a lot of indoor shots that you need to get the whole shot of the room, or telephoto, maybe you go whale watching or something, then you need to get that 2x zoom whenever you need it. Those situations, it comes in really handy. But I wouldn't actually use a telephoto or wide angle unless I absolutely need it, and I really stick to the main camera mode. Also, another note for those of you who root your phones, LG has really stopped supporting the open source community. And nowadays, to root your phone, you're gonna have to get the correct model that LG supports. LG has an official unlocking tool that's only supported on certain models of phones, like one model, which is the European unlock model. You may be able to enable OEM unlock in the settings, but when you actually go try to unlock the bootloader, it will not work. So I'm hoping that LG does update so all LG phones can have an unlock bootloader, because a lot of older phones like I have, like LG V20, it took quite a while before LG even updated to Oreo, and that's an issue. If you're not going to update the software, at least allow the users to unlock the bootloader easily, so we can update it to Oreo software ourselves. But not having the option gives LG a very bad name, a phone that does not get updated with software updates, and a phone that you can't even put your own software, which Android is really about. So either update your software quicker, or maybe just have an unlock bootloader so we can root the damn thing ourselves and update the software ourselves, or do both, which would be best of both worlds. That's something I really like about the OnePlus products. They literally update their software. You get Pi like within weeks of the official Pi update. You can get an unlock bootloader. It's half the price of most flagships. I should have a full review of this also, the OnePlus 6T. So far I like it. Very fast. Compared to the LG V40, it's got 2 cameras, but it doesn't have a third camera. The second camera is actually a depth sensing camera, so it's not really a second camera either. This review is getting kind of long. I try to do my best to cover what I felt was the most important. If there's anything that I missed out here, definitely leave a comment below, or leave a comment in our new forum, High on Android forum, and I'll be happy to answer my questions. This is definitely a fun phone. I should have a full 4K time-lapse of start time-lapse I'm making with the LG V40 using the raw files. Also tutorials on how to do that. If you wanted to use your smartphone as sort of a semi-professional camera, whether it's photos or videos, I mean, this will do it. You just have to know how to use RAW. All right, or how to use the manual controls. Then you can really take full advantage of the LG V40. It's definitely a niche phone. It's not for everybody, but if you're a photographer, videographer, you're gonna be able to take full advantage of this phone more than a noob that just takes photos here and there. I mean, it will still work for you, but I just feel like this is more advanced phone, and a lot of people don't understand its advanced features. And if you don't understand the advanced features and don't know how to use it, you may be better off buying something like a Pixel 3 or Pixel 3 XL. The Note 9, more of these guys' features are tailored for noobs. More of the most awesome features on the V40, obviously for advanced users. This is really advanced. LG's always been advanced. They've had wide angle for 3-4 years. Google now just took that and took claim. They're like, hey, we have wide angle. You can take wide angle selfies. All right, they sort of innovated there. So I like that, but if you can get a good price on it, usually LG's drop in price pretty quickly, then I do highly recommend it. If you need those 5 camera angles, definitely get it. If you take a lot of videos, if you do a lot of videos with your cell phone, smartphone, if you want to get into YouTube, this is one of the best phones. If you do any kind of audio, whether your headphones or audio recording, I mean, this has one of the best audio recording. I didn't go over it. That's sort of a carried feature over from LG, but the HD recording is awesome for concerts. For custom, you can go ahead and pretty much control your gain, LCF, LMT, all of this to get you the highest audio recording. So really like these advanced features, and if you don't use them, it's going to be useless. But again, if you do use these features, it's not hard to use these features, and if you learn to use them, then the LG V40 can be the best smartphone you'll ever buy. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on my next review, which is gonna be the OnePlus 6T. I've been also using this almost over 2 weeks now, so definitely have that review next. Have a great day. Hit the thumbs up for me if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to my channel, definitely subscribe and make sure notifications bell is on so you get reviews all my new phones that I have. I'm a smartphone collector. I own about 100 different Android phones, and I don't just sell them off, I just keep using them most of the time. Anyway, have a great day, and as always, stay on LG V40. Hey guys, so if you want to take a selfie with the V40, the wide angle really helps. Let me go ahead and demonstrate here. With if you have two docks, it's gonna work out great. Hey Molly, can you stop licking me? Look over there. Hey guys, I'm trying to make a video here. All right, over there. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. All right, I think this will work out.